be the very first time I have ever done the I'm going to try to keep this short thing and succeed. I mean, I have had a shorter one, but it was actually split. So that doesn't count. But tonight we're just going to do a reading, writing, I feel like I should say arithmetic. Because it's almost like this week would be like my last week of summer when I was a kid. Back in the 70s and 80s, every school I went to, from California to Arizona to Missouri, they all started the day after Labor Day. And now they've been back for 2-3 weeks here, which, okay, to be fair, in the desert, I personally think if you're going to lock kids in the classroom all day, why wouldn't you send them during May, June, July, and August for sure? Because those are the hottest months. They're not going to be doing tons of stuff outside anyway during those melting months here. I mean, it's crazy. And then let them out during the pleasant times of the year, right? This is just my thought. But anyway, no. So, okay, for the arithmetic part, I'll do this. When I was in 2nd grade, Mrs. Elkins, the world's best teacher, taught us how to spell arithmetic. You spelled it by remembering that a rat in the house might eat the ice cream. So if you ever need to know how to spell arithmetic, that's how you do it. A rat in the house might eat the ice cream. So got the math out of the way, which is good because as much as I loved math, I was never very good at it. Secret for those of us who are readers, and if you were self-taught, or if you are self-taught, or you have kids who are self-taught, okay? Our curricula, we would read the lesson, and then we would work the problems, and then there would be story problems at the bottom, right? Those word problems. Yeah, I couldn't do it that way. I would read the lesson, then I would go down and read the story problems. Because then they told me what all these other things are supposed to mean, right? And then I would go back up, read the lesson, and then I could do it. I needed those story problems to be able to understand what that lesson was telling me, because then I got to see it in the way that my brain processes things, which should kind of explain why I read so much, right? Yeah. Okay. So now that we've got the math out of the way, we'll do a reading, because I speak it. We will do a reading update. I'm not wrapping anything up yet. I still have a few books. Some of the books that I thought would be done aren't yet because of other things. And so, you know, we'll do that when we get to the life. But reading, I am almost done with Newton and Polly. And I gotta say, look, I knew that John Newton was a dirty, rotten scoundrel, slave trader, you know, probably a drunkard, lots of things. I knew that about him. I don't know how accurate the research on this book is. I don't know if she took lots of liberties or no liberties or somewhere in between. I don't know. But John Newton, aside from what we know of him, you know, in relation to the song Amazing Grace, right? He was not a good man. And I'm really hoping we are this far away and he has just done something stupid. He's irresponsible. He's impetuous. There is nothing about him to recommend him to anyone except that he can be charming. That's not enough. Okay. It's not enough. So, I'm reading this and I'm just going, not liking him. Polly, I like her, but you can tell that her faith isn't faith. It is, and I don't like to use the word religion because I'm sick to death of that word being treated as a bad word. It's in the Bible. God defines what is good religion. And I think that we're pretty arrogant to say, oh, well, religion's bad, if God has said, no, this is good religion. Pure and undefiled. James, read it. So, so I have a real problem with it, and I know words have gotten changed and whatever, but I think there are some words we shouldn't let the world define for us. I think, you know, there are just some things that we say, no, this is ours, and we fight for it. And when God defines something as good, I think us deciding it's bad because it has been misused, kind of arrogant on our part. So that's my personal issue. That's what she has. She has an outward show of a religious experience as opposed to true faith. She is trying to earn God's favor, and you can't. And so there is not much room left for both of them to make a big change. But right now, she has finally done something that is mature, and I'm grateful for that. But there's not a whole lot of time. This book is going to wrap up really fast because there's not a whole lot of time for anything to happen. We get all this, you know, a full book's length of before salvation. We get this much to get us still to salvation. There's no salvation yet. And beyond, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm enjoying it more than I thought I would. But I'm really nervous about that. That's not a lot of space for there to be more. But, so I have not finished it. And again, I'll get to that later. Let's go with this one. No Space Like Home. That will be done before Saturday. And that's my Chantal Reads All Day, for whatever it's worth. No Space Like Home. It's getting better and better, and I'm seeing more and more. It's one of those things. I loved the book the first time I read it, right? But kind of like, it's really funny. I've discovered that I love retellings for books that I didn't like. I did not like Peter Pan. I loved Kara Swanson's Dust and Shadow. Both of those, loved them. I just didn't like Peter Pan. In that one, she really, I don't know, I think she shows him for the spoiled little brat that he is better. You know, I feel like Barry wants us to like him despite his faults, and she shows his faults and gives us a reason to learn to like him by addressing them. And that's the big difference. And I really liked that. I like Barbara Cornthwaite's George Knightley Esquire series. I never liked Emma until I read those, and now I can see Emma, what Austen did with Emma through other eyes, and I get a stronger, broader understanding. You see the repentance in her that feels more in the book. I don't know, it feels like it is expected that I atoned for my social faux pas more than I wounded someone I care about. That's how it feels when I read it. So, but once I read it through Knightley's eyes, I could see true repentance that I did not see before that. So I seem to prefer retellings. And like, I didn't like the Wizard of Oz book. I didn't finish it. I was not interested. It did not hold me. And I have never seen the whole movie. I've only seen little pieces of it when it would come on, and I couldn't get to the TV fast enough to change it. Oh, Toothless, knock it off. So I didn't care. I just didn't care. But this, I love it. I love Gail, who is our main character. She's our Dorothy. I love how Dell did it with the different characters and how she made them be the same characters from the original books with a whole new spin and a whole new twist. And I'll tell you more about that later, but there was actually even a quote. I'll read it because it was last night. I just sat there and I just stared, just going, wow, because it was so good. This is so very Dell in how she would talk when you're just having a conversation. You know, she's a very thoughtful and insightful person. And so, and the one guy, so there's a scene where they're in a situation where she feels like people are being, or society is forcing people to show respect for her that she hasn't earned, and she doesn't like it. It makes her really uncomfortable. And so this guy is addressing it, and he says, only that it's clear that you are uncomfortable with people bowing because you feel it belittles them. That is admirable. But sometimes respect is letting people decide their actions for themselves, not imposing on them what you think they ought to want. And yeah, it's like, Dell, I love you. So, still enjoying this. Don't have much to go. I'm kind of like drawing it out because I'm not ready to leave it, and I know there's a very good chance that the other books that she had kind of considered will never get written. Her daughters at one point, I know, they had talked about them doing it, and I don't know if that'll happen or not. I don't think so. This is a standalone book, but she had considered doing more in creating an actual series. I don't know. I just don't know. I think it was going to be a trilogy if she did. I feel like it was either going to be a trilogy or a tetralogy, quartet, whatever you want to call them. I don't know. But then I remembered this book. It wasn't over there; it was up, and so I didn't see it, and so I've been ignoring it. And I was like, "Oh my goodness, I could finish this, and then I could finally do my Gooch thing before the end of the year, after the year I read them, right?" So I haven't. I just noticed this tonight. So I'm hoping I can get this done this week, and because of that, I'm only going to be working on 2 of the books that I pulled out of the ones I've been avoiding. So, yours truly, Thomas, I've been avoiding. Well, I had to stop. Yeah, I don't have much left. I have like a chapter, 2 chapters. Yeah, it looks like 2 chapters and an epilogue to go. And the epilogue is a page and a quarter. So, yeah. I started reading and I couldn't stop. It was fun because it's part historical romance. I mean, that's the main general, but it's also part light mystery. You know, who is this? You know, she works for the dead letter office, and so who is this person he's writing to? Let me find out. Let me get this man's letters. He loves her so much, right? And so she works really hard, and then when she finds things out and she makes decisions and all the things happen, it's a whole lot of fun. But then there's another mystery that might be connected. We're not sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know what's going on, but I don't have proof. So, yeah. We shall see. But I'm going to finish this tonight. I'm not going to be able to stop. I'm just not. And this was the other one I picked up. And of course, I was in the middle of it and I was sharing that I was reading it in a Discord group and went to find out exactly what the title was because I couldn't read it. And when I went to look, I was like, oh, this is book 3 in a series. I don't feel lost, though. There have been a couple of references to at least one other, but they clearly stand alone. But I'm not real happy with the fact that I'm reading the 3rd book in a series. So far, I think there's only been one word I didn't appreciate, which was really nice. I'm enjoying it. It's not the best book ever, but I am enjoying it. And I can kind of see what the author's take on Christy is by how he's portraying her and events in her life. He talks about the time she disappeared and what happened with that, and I have my own theories on that. But so there's this. I'm on chapter 10. I think there's only 30 chapters, 32, 33. Yeah, 33 chapters. So this will be done before the end of the month too, and then I don't know who mentioned Charlotte McLeod. Someone mentioned her. And so I went looking to find out what she had, and I saw that my Audible subscription has a bunch of her Peter Shandy mysteries it comes with my subscription. And so I put them in my library and I listened to 2. I've enjoyed those 2. Did I already start? I think I already started 3. Yeah, I already started 3. This one's really funny. They do tend to have a bit of wittiness to them. They're not really comedic as much as witty. They're intelligent, but they're also they're almost a little screwball too. It takes place in Massachusetts, and Peter Shandy is a professor at an agricultural college. But the entire county is hugely Scandinavian, which doesn't fit Massachusetts at all. I mean, if you told me this took place in Minnesota, it would make way more sense. And so I was like, I don't know what's going on here. Toothless, give it up. It's pretty funny because the president of the college has this really strongly Scandinavian background. His name is like Thorgeld or something like that. I don't remember what it is. And his wife is, it's not Severina, but I'm thinking his butler sister. And so, of course, my brain goes there. And, but, you know, it's crazy. They have 7 daughters, which I understand. I have 7 daughters. But hey, I had a couple of sons, so I beat him. No, anyway, just kidding. So, but yeah. And so there's just a lot of fun. Peter, Sandy? I just told you his name and I was right. And now, over the weekend. But he's a neat guy. The first one is God Rest You Merry. And it kicks off with, he has had it with, they have like this big Christmas thing every year that college does. And he never participates. He doesn't decorate his place or anything. And I'm guessing this takes place in the late 60s, early 70s, right? And so he doesn't do any of it. Well, he's fed up because they keep bugging him about it. So he packs his bags. He's planning on going off anyway. He hires these guys to put all these things, all these lights and all these hideous decorations up on timers and blasts music and the whole 9 yards. He has them do it all. And then he takes off. So he doesn't have to deal with it, but he'll teach them, right? So it was pretty funny. The first book had a few words and 1 or 2 irreverent uses of God's name. Didn't like it. Can't figure out why. At first, I couldn't figure out why. I know I've heard more in other books. I am unable to can. He's going to drink every drop. Go away. It's a good thing you're cute. Can I just say? Now go. Skedaddle. Name that movie. Shalice, you know. But Shandy, that's his name. Shandy. Not Shanty, Shandy. Got it. I won't sing. You're welcome. But anyway, so, but the language, it's like nothing like John Sebastian Farrell does in Mrs. Pollifax. And that's with an English accent too. So, I mean, American accent, that's with an American accent too. Because I think what it is that when you have these things in British books, they pronounce words differently. And it doesn't like offend my ears because I'm listening to these while I'm walking. And so it doesn't offend my ears in the same way. And so I'm thinking that has something to do with it. But then there's John Sebastian Farrell, so what can you say? I don't know. Maybe because at least in that one, he at least looks chagrined when he uses a word, right? And in this one, it's just like kind of par for the course. I don't really understand or appreciate it, but there's not tons, but it is there. And I don't know why it bothers me more than others that have more. I can't understand it, but I think it's the American accent. It might be the particular American accent. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But then this third book, I feel like it's had even more. I hope it doesn't keep getting worse with each one because I'm really enjoying the mysteries. And if it gets too much more, I know I won't be able to handle it and I'll have to turn it off. And that would be sad because they're really good mysteries. They're really fun. I like who Peter is. I like who the people in the college are, even the ones I don't like. Like the president is a jerk. I don't like him at all. But he's a hoot. He's just one of those characters that's really fun to, enjoy. So yeah, it's really weird moving into a life update, right? That's loosely connected. When I went to England last year and I tangled with the pothole and I came home with my right knee and my left ankle just totally wrenched and in terrible shape and couldn't do much, I had stopped walking. I used to walk every night, 2-3 in the morning for, about 3 miles. And I would listen to audiobooks and life would be grand. Well, I couldn't for quite a while. And then after I couldn't, and once I got better, then I was traveling and then Kevin got hurt and so I couldn't. And I didn't realize that I hadn't picked it back up until the other night. It was beautifully cool out there. I'm like, this is a perfect night for a walk. And then I was like, wait a minute. I haven't been in ages, which is why I pulled up that first Charlotte McLeod. I'm like, I need a mystery for this. And one of the ones I am listening to Patricia Raybon's, but her narrator, I knew I wouldn't be able to concentrate on if I was walking, because I also have to concentrate on breathing or I'll pass out. My exercise woes. So I'm like, not good. Where's my, there it is. Thirsty. So instead, I got the Charlotte McLeod and I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. And it was really interesting. So several things have happened this week that which should drive me into the writing. So I'm going to hit pause there, remember that, and say I did get the wedding dress hemmed, but I haven't cut the straight layers. There are 4 to 6 layers that are just straight cut. You don't hem. You just straight cut. And I bought new, basically I'm calling them new throwaway scissors. They're $30 scissors, and that's at half off, whatever. I bought new throwaway scissors so that they've never been used for anything. So nothing, there can't even be the slightest little burr that could possibly, grab something. And I made sure I got Teflon coated and all the things to give it the best shot of nothing going wrong with this dress. And I have this horrible, horrible feeling that one of the things that we wanted to do with this dress may not be able to do. So the front, is here, and then we were going to taper the back into the train more, so it would have more of a train. But the front has been stepped on a little bit, and so the lace netting stuff on the front is kind of like stretched weird, and that's going to get all cut off, no big deal. But if the back has it too, I can't do that taper. And I didn't realize it until I started to pull it out a while ago, and I was going to make myself cut. I think I'm just going to make myself cut 1 layer every single night. And then it'll be done before the bachelorette party this weekend. Lorna can take it down. Life is good. Life is good. So I got that done. And I got some cleaning in here done. Not enough. And tomorrow I'm going to dig out my autumn stuff because I want to set up my office for fall. It's barely going to be a couple of days early because I think I want to have that up for my next video, because why not? I'm going to share my October. I'm going to share my September reads, the plans and all the planness and the planosity. So yeah, I think I want to do that. I think it'll be cool. So it'll be a couple of days early, but I'll live. It's not like I'm not ready for fall, right? And then writing. See, my reading and my walking have created a writing thing. So right now we just I'll put the picture up because now I can. We just put the pre-order up for our 9th annual Christmas Lights collection. The very first book I did in that collection was Christmas stockings. And then I think there was one other year where I might have done something else. I'm not sure. But either the next year or the 3rd year I started the New Cheltenham series where I did the Ghost of New Cheltenham and then the Bells of New Cheltenham. And then we have Ghosts and Bells and Stars and Hearts and Lights. And this year I'm doing the Trees of New Cheltenham. So that's what I'm writing right now. I'm having so much fun because I've got a nice big family in this book. And so it takes me back to writing Aggie with all the kids and all the fun stuffness. And this one isn't as just happy. I mean, they're really struggling. They're like 1 step away from homelessness. A mom and 6 of her 7 kids. And the oldest son is trying to keep them all together and everything going well. And then they're going to inherit this property. But we've got a developer who's after it. So yeah, things are going to get interesting. But New Cheltenham just got a new store. We're calling it Dickens and More Company. More with the 2 O's, so, Clement Moore, Night Before Christmas. So it's going to be, he's working there too. The poor guy is working himself into the grave. I'm telling you, he's 25 going on 90. So I'm having a lot of fun just writing that family dynamic thing. I love doing that so much. And so it's a lot of fun to write that one. And then, but while I've been reading, I've had a couple of new ideas that one was spurred by the Palliser book I just finished, Phineas Finn. I've got some ranting to do about this book, but it has also sparked an idea for me. So now I want to write this Victorian novel, and, inspired by what happens in that book, but from a different perspective. Again, the retelling. But I don't want to do the same story. I've got my own plans. But I'm like, there's a whole little subplot in there that is so dangerous and so frustrating to me, because I think Trollope is trying to make us see things one way, and I don't see it. I have issues with it. Strong issues. And it's another book where the young man is portrayed as really charming and sweet, and he's fickle, and he's too movable and changeable and impressionable through the whole thing. He finally gets a little bit of backbone at the end, but seriously, why on earth did that woman marry him? What is wrong with her? I was so mad. But so this has given me an idea. I don't know when I'm going to be able to do this one, because I was like, I want to write this book, right? But then also last night when I was walking up the road, I was walking past Grace Lutheran, which is just not too far from my house. And there's a jogger that I've always seen jogging. And he knew who I was. It was really interesting. You could see his surprise, like, hey, wait a minute, there she is, she's back, right? It was kind of funny. But he was jogging toward me, and I'm listening to my Charlotte McLeod mystery. I can't remember. It was the one about the horses, and I don't remember the name of it. But anyway, but I'm listening to it, and I'm cracking up, and he's coming toward me, and it dawned on me, because there was a really good, like, intense scene as we passed. So he could have heard it coming toward me, and then he could have heard enough of it going past where he got the gist of this little bit, right? And I had this, I was like, wait a minute, what if you had a woman who walked and listened, and then someone heard, maybe working in the backyard or coming home from work, and had to go out and let the dog out so you can hear it through the fence. For some reason, someone hears it and starts following to find out what the book is, or to get something so that they can take it to or she, doesn't matter, take it to the librarian to find out more. And then, and it can only be a scene, because the entire book can't be this. There's not enough there. But I just picture getting the feeling as you're walking, like, I feel like someone's watching me, and I feel like someone's following me, but you can't see anything. It's dark, right? And so my brain was just doing all this fun stuff. It's totally going in a book. I just don't know when, what, where. I do know who. I know which one of my characters. This is gonna be fun. I cannot put that in this book right now, but I know where I can put it. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be great. I'm so excited. But yeah, so and then I've had a few other, like, book ideas. I mean, I've got ideas coming at me left and right. I'm going to say maybe 250 book ideas already in my slush pile, and sometimes I'll go through there and I'm like, oh, I can use this one in this book, and this one in this book, and this one in this book, and create something out of more than one. But so I pull 3 out. I put like 20 in every week. No, it's not that bad, but I put a ton in there. The last time I counted, there was 250, and I know I've put in 100 more, at least. I have so many, and not enough time to do them. So that's where I am. I just have to do my wedding dress, and I have to do some emailing. I have to figure out if I get my sticker or not. I feel so stupid, but I want my sticker. And I have to see who else has signed up for stickers. So if you did Camp Read More and you put your books in there for a sticker, and you haven't requested your sticker yet, I haven't even looked at the form yet. So yours hasn't been sent, but it also hasn't been, like, overlooked either. But all that stuff, yeah. lots going on. Lots going on. And then I have to do, like, I have a ton of books on this shelf, and most of them are Christmas books. And so I think I'm going to do a big Christmas book sale because I need space on these shelves for books other than Christmas books, for heaven's sakes. It's crazy. So I think I'm going to pull out and just like do a big sale so that I can get rid of, you know, I want to order other books, but I don't have anywhere to put them. So to do that, I'm going to get rid of some of those, and then yeah, it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice. What did you do this week? Have any epiphanies? Have any books that make you want to throw them across the room? Don't do that. Don't do that. Somebody wants that book. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'll see you Thursday with all the stuff I'm gonna do for October. I think, not promising, but I think that's what I'll be here for. And October. I did it again. I keep saying October. September. So I'll be back on Thursday with Decorating the Shedifice and my September reads. Looking forward to it. I know I'm doing series September, but and I might listen to Shakespeare for September, but I'm not going to really focus on it. I might actually focus on some of his sonnets because I don't know them as well as I know his plays. And I think that might be a good thing to learn. So I don't know what the thing is supposed to be about. I don't care. I have my favorites and I have the other ones I ignore, and I'm okay with that. I'm not highbrow enough to. Oh boy, yeah. What can I say? So I'll see you then.